You know, just because YouTube is kind of like it. I'm not gonna say YouTube ain't as important, but like my YouTube is kind of like, you know, if niggas catch, cool. If not, fuck it. It is what it is.
And
Like,
it's now YouTube live, or can they pause it and come back to it? And
yeah, they can come back. Cause I don't go live on YouTube. I
okay, so
upload
okay,
after the fact.
okay,
Because I'm not sure the quality when I go live on YouTube.
fact,
So
okay.
I don't want to fucking compromise that shit.
Gotcha.
So I do that shit after the fact.
And see, that's what I was asking you earlier about with the YouTube, like
Yeah,
editing
I
stuff.
upload it after.
You could like cut this conversation out before you upload it or whatever.
Yeah, which I won't.
Okay.
Cause on some real shit, it's all content at the end of the day. Like
Okay.
it ain't like I'm just talking some stupid shit. Like if I'm just sitting here not doing shit,
Yeah.
I'll cut that. Like if I'm
Gotcha.
literally just like touching buttons and looking around and fucking off, then I'm like, nigga, nah, cause don't nobody want to see that shit.
Yeah, like,
but
get to the point.
Exactly. But like a lot of niggas, like content is content. Like nigga, I could have literally recorded our whole conversation and put that on Too Much Game
and been like, this is a setup video or something like
exactly. Like nigga, this is me letting y'all niggas know if you want to do a podcast, this is what you need. This is how you do it. You know, cause that's the thing. Like it's all content.
Gotcha.
So like the main shit as far as like doing this shit, you always want to speak into the fucking microphone.
Okay.
Like, so that's the thing as far as like your mic that you get. Make sure you got some shit that you feel comfortable. Like the reason I got these seats, like your mouth is right by the mic, so you always in that motherfucker. Okay, I'm on YouTube, my Rodecaster on, I got my beat. Back on my sounds, the bomb, laugh, make and that's gonna be some setting up and shit. Another part of what you're gonna have to set up when you get a fucking Rodecaster, like you gotta know where your buttons is, what sounds is where. Cause I done did that shit a few times. I seen say some serious shit and hit the fucking
laugh or
oh my bad, nigga. I wouldn't mean to do that shit, or I say some shit that's funny and be like,
yeah.
So remember where your buttons is and shit. But let me go ahead and get this bitch started, cause
I ain't either.
late. Let me see. Hit that shit simultaneously. Gunshots, bitch. And then there was bass. Good evening, motherfuckers and motherfuckers. This is your host, Yung Dolemite. Got a Too Much Game podcast, live from the Boom Boom Room once again. Got another freestyle for you niggas, honestly. Another one of them weeks where a lot of shit that I don't give a fuck happened. So I'm gonna speak about the little bit of shit that I did low-key give a fuck, the shit that I did pay attention to. The shit that caught my eye to a certain degree, but for the most part, nothing like really caught me to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a whole show about that shit. So, it's just gonna be one of them things, man. Shout out to the Rosy Perspective as usual, Got my rosy glass, got my rosy tea. Y'all niggas go ahead and get y'all merch and shit. But yeah, man, today's episode I'm gonna entitle the Freestyle. Cause I got my motherfucking t-shirt on. But shout out to all the returning listeners. Shout out to all the new listeners, all the motherfuckers who been sharing this shit. All the motherfuckers who been popping in, listening. Whether you listen for a long time or a short time, I appreciate you popping in this motherfucker. I got my homeboy in the studio right now. My homeboy Aaron. Ab House of Souls on fucking Instagram. Showing them how I set my little shit up. So, let me get into my shit. I've been checking the timeline, because I was kind of like lacking on shit that I cared about this week. It really wasn't much going on. So I'm just gonna talk about, what's been cracking on the ticker. The most recent thing that I've seen as far as like content, You know, a lot of motherfuckers probably been sharing this video, whether you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or any of that. Homeboy who shot his ex girl. Like, you know, I'm not completely sure of the context, but you know, it's like she came home from wherever the fuck she came home from, and nigga was waiting on her and start busting at her. And you know, she jetted out. You know, the whole video is playing, and you hear screaming in the background and shit. You know, and the whole time, all I'm thinking is like, you know, as far as women in general, like y'all gotta really start, or let me not say start, y'all gotta leave these niggas alone that brag about toxic attraction to you. Like all these, you know, I see a lot of women that's like, oh, I want a nigga to choke me, and you know, I want a nigga that's rough, I want a nigga that'll do this and do that. Like all that toxic shit is cool, you know. We make jokes about toxic dick, and you know, toxic motherfuckers got the best sex and all that shit. And that shit, you know, it sound good in memes, but in practicality, it's like nigga, that it ain't nothing fly about that shit. Like it ain't nothing fly about a nigga you gotta get a restraining order on. It ain't nothing fly about a nigga that'll literally stalk you or really beat your ass or any of that shit. You know, because it's a fine line when it comes to toxicity in relationships. You know, like a lot of people think that toxicity is something cute, especially when you younger. Like when you in your early 20s, late teens, it's like you enjoy the excitement of arguing with a motherfucker. You know, you getting those little tiffs where y'all screaming at each other and y'all doing stupid shit to each other. You know, you fucking his clothes up, he fucking your car up. You know, y'all cussing out motherfuckers online who in your girl DM, and you know, all that little goofy shit. Like it's cool to talk about these toxic fucking attractions, but you know, like I said, man, like we gonna have to really like leave that shit alone, especially as the black community. Like y'all already know, I'm not talking to other motherfuckers when I say this shit. You know, cause I know hillbillies had this problem too, where y'all motherfuckers are squabbing and calling the police and you know all that shit. And you know, when you fucking with niggas like that, you know, cause I had to talk one of my little cousins off the ledge about that shit when she was talking about, you know, I'm only attracted to street niggas. Like you gotta be a thug to fuck with me and all that shit. And I'm like, dog, you know, you setting yourself up for a fucked up situation at the end of the day. You know, just like with homeboy who shot homegirl up. He probably showed signs of that type of behavior early in the relationship, because a lot of motherfuckers, like, you know, I tell women all the time, niggas ain't out here surprising no motherfucking body. It's red flags that a motherfucker show you that a lot of people ignore when they really like a nigga. You ignore it when a nigga really dicking you down real proper. Like you see red flags, but them motherfuckers turn a shade of orange or a shade of burgundy or maroon or fuchsia when you really like a nigga. And y'all really gotta start getting rid of niggas when they show you these toxic ass traits. Like the fact that they got to the point where this nigga was shooting at this girl, like I can't think of nothing that my wife could do that'll make me start shooting at her, my nigga. Like even if she cheated on this nigga with his goddamn brother, like it ain't fucking worth it. But fucking with a nigga that you think would have the capability of shooting at your ass, like you know, motherfuckers just gotta do better, dog. Like motherfuckers always show you who they are. You know, motherfuckers will tell you who they are before they show you who they are. You know, so in situations like that, man, you know, ladies, please be careful. Please be mindful of what niggas say, how niggas move. You know, a lot of times, man, you could watch a nigga play motherfucking Xbox and know what type of nigga you fucking with. If that nigga losing by 5 in 2K and start throwing joysticks and punching walls, you might need to exit stage left. That nigga got fucking anger problems. Like a lot of motherfuckers is violent when they get angry, and I ain't gonna front, nigga. I'm a joystick throwing nigga too, but at the same time, I'm calm, cool, and collected 99% of the time. You know, so you just gotta watch the disposition of motherfuckers who you get in relationships with, man. Like, be careful out here in these dating streets. You know, speaking of these dating streets, you know, another video that caught my attention this week. I forget the name of the dude who's doing this show, but the video's been getting around. It's a video And basically the context of the video is it's a dude who does basically what I do. Like, you know, he does relationship advice. And you know, he's doing this shit. It's on YouTube. I might link the YouTube video in the description of this motherfucker so y'all can see it. But anyway, the context of the video is a woman calls into the show, and you know, she's basically telling him that she needs a six-figure dude. She needs a high value dude. You know, and what she has to offer is she's 35. She has a 16-year-old son. She's a business owner. Her business is she's a pet groomer. You know, but she's been making six figures for the last 3 years. You know, and the dude is basically telling her, because you know, when you look at her, you can see her in the video. She ain't the prettiest girl. You know, and this ain't me saying nothing about, you know, as far as like the looks that you bring to the table or nothing. But at the same time, it's like she has these high ass expectations for the man that she fucks with. Yet she, you know, even though she is bringing a six-figure income, you know, what he was explaining to her is a lot of times when you dealing with six-figure niggas, that's not something that we're looking for. Like, a nigga making six figures don't really care what a woman is bringing to the table financially. You know, shout out to my cousin Pooh. He said his name is Kevin Samuels. You know, so you can look up, I guess you can look up Kevin Samuels on YouTube and find the video. It's like one of the most recent videos. But, you know, he was basically telling her, like, you know, you not the cutest motherfucker in the world. You know, you already got a son. You got a sketchy baby daddy. You know, and it's like in the dating game, a lot of times we got to be realistic with ourselves as far as what we bringing to the table and what we asking for as far as like who we date. Like, look yourself in the mirror and really ask yourself, do I deserve a motherfucker that's up to the standards that I have? Like, if say as a woman, you want a six-figure nigga, you want a nigga that's 6'3", works out, you know, he looks good, smell good, carry himself well, no kids, and all of this shit. You want a high value male. You know, you gotta look at what the fuck you bringing to the table, and if a high value male is checking for somebody like you know, because I had to give advice to one of my homegirls in this exact situation. At the time, she was between jobs. She was living with a friend. And she was like, I need a nigga who got the bag because I'm not doing that great and I need a motherfucker who can take care of me. And I was telling her, like, at the end of the day, do you really think a nigga who's doing it like that is looking for a female like you? And mind you, this woman who I'm talking about, she's beautiful. She's a good looking girl. But at the same time, niggas ain't looking for a bitch that look good doing bad. Like, you can be a bad bitch, but you can't be a doing bad bitch. Like, niggas don't care about your income per se. Like, it's not like a number that a high value nigga's looking for. I'm speaking from the standpoint of a high value nigga. Like, I am a six-figure earner. Y'all can see this motherfucker. I consider myself to be relatively handsome. I'm an alright looking nigga. You know, I got a good head on my shoulders. I talk that shit. But the thing is, I'm fucking married. So I'm off the market. But at the same time, if I was fucking single, no, I'm not looking for a woman who makes what I make because I'm the man. I'm a fucking provider. I just need you to be doing something. Long as you bringing something to the table as a man, I'm cool with that. But you can't tell me, oh, I'm sleeping on my homegirl couch or I'm living with my mama because I'm fucking between jobs, because that's a red flag. You know, when you looking for a high value motherfucker, you gotta look at your qualifications. And I've touched on this in prior episodes, but you know, it's just something that keeps fucking coming up. So it's something that I might have to keep fucking reiterating. You know, like Adventures with Picture said, both parties gotta bring something to the table, you know, as well nowadays. That's fucking true. You know, like the analogy that I used a couple episodes ago. You know, it's like when you go into the fucking car lot. You know, your standard is Rolls Royce. You like, nigga, I need a sunroof. I need leather seats, nigga. I need a backup camera. I need, you know, the high quality fucking leather, nigga. I need a wood steering wheel. I need TVs and all the headrests, nigga. I need, you know, the ambient light. I need this. I need that. You like, okay, for sure. So, nigga, you want like a S class Mercedes? Cool, for sure. All right, we can do that. We got all that shit in one car. Cool. Okay, what's your credit score? And you like, about a 520. How much do you have to put down? I got about 1,000. You don't qualify for no motherfucking S-Class Mercedes, my nigga. Maybe you should take your ass down to the Kia lot and see if they still make the Kia Rio or like a Geo Metro. Maybe you should go to the used car lot and get you a little bucket to start with. You know, you might find you a little used car that might have a sunroof and some power windows and shit. But my nigga, you don't qualify for that. And that's what Homeboy was telling Homegirl about how she looked and what she was bringing to the table as far as Homeboy. Like, you don't qualify for the high value man that you're looking for. Yes, you're making six figures, just like he makes six figures. But in the eyes of a six figure male, six figures ain't that fucking important to a lot of us. A lot of us males, you know, like, you can call it shallow, you can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. But a lot of us are looking way more at how you look next to us than how you look financially. A lot of us are just looking for a pretty woman. Yes, you can have like the bag and all that shit, and that's fucking cool. But at the end of the day, like, that's not what the fuck we value all the time. We looking for a woman with a nice body. We looking for a woman who can hold a conversation. We looking for a woman who could possibly cook and clean and do the things that we need done when we busy, because a lot of six-figure niggas are busy men. Like me personally, I'm a busy ass nigga. So I don't need you to be competing with me financially. I don't need you to match me financially because I got this. We good over here. I need you to make sure the house is straight when I get home. Now, if you do work, that's a bonus. If you bringing in some money, that's a fucking bonus. But a lot of times, busy men are looking for women that got free time. We not looking for a woman that's just as busy as us, because we never gonna see her ass. You know, so it's like you gotta look at who you compliment more than what you want. Like, you always gotta look at what you got to offer when you thinking about what you want, because that shit don't always align. Nigga, sometimes you really gonna have to compromise on what the fuck you asking for when you look at what you got to offer. You know, especially like women with kids, niggas with multiple baby mamas. You know, because it's not just women who have standards that are higher than what the fuck they bring to the table. Because like, I know niggas who, nigga, they life ain't all the way together. Them niggas got a couple baby mamas, got their ass on child support. You know, them niggas got a felony. Them niggas money ain't all the way together. Them niggas life ain't all the way cracking. But they looking for a motherfucking Beyonce. Like, nah, nigga, that ain't the motherfucking play, my nigga. Like, you need to get somewhere, you know, within your motherfucking price range. You know, and it is what it is. But you know, like, one of my things that I've discussed with my co-host CJ on the Cat vs. Dog podcast. You know, shout out to the Cat vs. Dog podcast. You know, live at motherfucking 3 on Sundays. Like, a lot of times, as women, it's cool for you to have money. It's cool for you to be ambitious. But a lot of times, the dudes that you looking for, that's not what they value. You know, so don't blame the man for what his preference is, because a lot of times, and let me not say that, because I was gonna say we don't blame y'all for what y'all preference is, because I see a lot of bitch ass niggas on Twitter, especially short niggas, who get mad at women who say they don't want a nigga that's under 6 feet tall. You know, and it is what it is. I don't shade people for their preference. As long as you not shitting on me because I'm not your preference, nigga, your preference is your preference, and I can't do nothing but respect that. Like, I know women who have literally told me throughout my life, I don't fuck with light skinned niggas. And that's cool. I'm not for you. You know, I don't fuck with bitches with bad taste. So, you know, it is what it is. Like, but at the end of the day, like, you really got to look at what you got to offer as far as like how you compliment the person that you looking for. More than what you looking for. You know, because it's cool to have high standards. It's cool to want a nigga who makes six figures. It's cool to want a nigga who's tall. It's cool to want all that shit. It's cool to want a nigga. I want a fucking bucket of ice cream that's 5 gallons at all times in my freezer. But I can't always have that. It's a bunch of shit that I want, nigga. I want a Rolls Royce Wraith. But I ain't qualifying for that shit right now. And it is what it is, nigga. I gotta get the car that compliments me. I gotta get the car that I could afford. I gotta get the car that's dependable right now. You know, one day I will qualify for that motherfucking Rolls Royce. But at the time, right now as I'm speaking, I'm not in that range. And this is how I live my life. This is the advice that I give motherfuckers, you know, when they tell me like, you know, how do I get a nigga like you? You know, because sometimes women don't say that shit. Like, nigga, where the fuck can I find motherfuckers like you? And it's always like, I literally don't know. You know, that's way easier said than done. I'm not no easy motherfucker to find. You know, like I know a lot more qualified women than qualified men. But as far as like women looking for qualified men, you know, a lot of times you got to look at the qualifications that you have to attract the men that you want. Like when you're looking for a certain man, like you really got to think about what you do to compliment the man that you want. Like when you looking for a man that's a 6-figure nigga, you know, think about this shit. He's a busy nigga. So if you're a busy ass woman, do you honestly think that a busy nigga is trying to fuck with you and you are also busy? Because me personally, the type of nigga that I am, like I'm stingy with my time. Like I'm stingy with the time of the woman that I'm fucking with, and I've always been like this. Like I've literally dumped women because they was too busy. And you know, these women were goal oriented. These women had good jobs. These women, they was on their shit. But just me personally, the way that I've always gotten down as a man, I've always been like, if you too busy for me, you're not for me. It's no shade to you. It's, you know, I'm not saying that you're any less of a woman. I'm not saying that you're not qualified to be satisfied. You just don't compliment me. You know, and it's nothing wrong with that. Cause like I be telling women all the time, like, I don't never give y'all the advice to find no broke ass nigga or no bum ass nigga. But at the same time, if you a high super alpha woman, you might benefit from fucking with a beta male. As fucked up as that sounds, you might want to find a nigga who doesn't mind taking the back seat while you drive. You know, you as a woman who really is the type of motherfucker that's like, oh, I'm goal oriented. I gotta make this amount of money. I want to do all this big shit in my life. You know, I'm all about my goals. I'm a female CEO. I'm a motherfucking business owner. I'm this slash this. Nigga, if you a boss ass woman, think about how much time it take for you to be a fucking boss. Now think about the type of nigga that you trying to fuck with. Do you really think a nigga want to chase your bossy ass all over the motherfucking map while you run around taking meetings and doing this and making decisions and having brunches and doing all this shit? Like, at what time do you have for this nigga that you asking for? You know, because a lot of women chalk it up to like, oh, he's intimidated by me. A lot of times it's not intimidation. It's just a nigga don't want to deal with that shit. It's not intimidating at all. A lot of niggas ain't as intimidated by y'all as y'all think. You know, now that does exist. We not finna discount the fact that niggas do be intimidated by women. And y'all know, if you've been listening to this show any amount of time, I call them bitch ass niggas. Bitch ass niggas is always intimidated by a boss woman. Like bitch ass niggas don't even like that type of energy, because a lot of bitch ass niggas, you know, when you ask a bitch ass nigga what he has to offer, like women, I got some game for y'all. Listen up. Write this shit down. You might remember it because it's very simple. When you are on your date with a man and you're getting ready to take him serious, ask him, what do you have to offer besides dick, money, and protection? Men, ask yourself that same fucking question. When you're looking for a high value woman, when you're looking for a woman who's on her shit, a woman who's beautiful, a woman who has a nice body, a woman who works out, a woman who has goals, whatever the fuck your list is, for the woman that you're looking for in your life, ask yourself, what do I have to offer besides dick, money, and protection? A lot of niggas don't have an answer for that question. Not a good answer. You know, because a lot of women love to ask a nigga what you bringing to the table. Niggas love to ask women what you bringing to the table. You know, so men, ask a woman, what are you bringing to the table besides pussy and money? You know? And these are very simple questions that will stump a lot of motherfuckers who really don't have a lot to offer. A lot of niggas really can't answer that fucking question. That will eliminate a lot of wasted time for a lot of women. Nigga, what do you got to offer? You know, you ain't gotta say it on no like vindictive shit. You ain't gotta say it on no like real mean shit. You know, it's just like in conversation. You know, like when just like how you ask a motherfucker, what do you do for a living? Where do you stay? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Ask, you know, so you know, just as a man, what do you think that you have to offer besides, you know, dick, protection, and fucking money? And really see what the fuck he say. Look in his eyes. Look at the facial expression that comes on this nigga face as he's trying to answer this question. Because I've heard the question, and it's a hard fucking question to answer, honestly, as a man, because a lot of us, we look at our role as the provider, the protector, and the nigga who offers the dick. And a lot of times outside of that, niggas be like, damn, what the fuck do I have to offer? Why the fuck does this woman need me? That's a big reason a lot of niggas are intimidated by women that got money. That's the reason a lot of niggas don't really like to shoot for women that are very beautiful. Because there's a lot of competition for very beautiful women. There's a lot of competition for women that make a lot of money. So a lot of niggas don't even want to deal with that shit. They like, nigga, that bitch way too fine for me. I'm cool. Because I know I'm going to be fighting in the mall behind this bitch. I know I'm going to be in all type of bullshit behind her. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, shoot a little lower. You know, because a lot of the reason that it might seem as if I'm talking a lot more to the females when it comes to standards is because men are way more likely to date within our range than women are. You know, like a lot of the times when women get cheated on, y'all know, most women who have been cheated on know, 90% of the time women get cheated on by a woman that is not as beautiful as they are. Because a lot of men, we don't mind dating down. We don't mind fucking down. We don't mind that shit. The reason a lot of men are way more hurt than women are when we get cheated on is because women usually cheat up. Women fuck up. Women will go find a nigga that look better than you, taller than you, dick bigger than yours, he funnier than you. Like when we go see who you cheated on us with, that shit fucks our whole ego off. Because we like, damn, that's a good looking nigga. We might not be gay, but we know a handsome nigga when we see one. You know, we like, damn, shit, I ain't know she can get a nigga like that. But with us, when we cheat, y'all be laughing at the bitch we cheat with. You cheated with ugly Tasha from up the street? Ain't that a bitch? Like, y'all be more offended when we cheat than her. Like, a lot of y'all's pain from us cheating is just like, I can't believe you cheated with this raggedy fucking bitch. And a lot of the times the reason y'all could take us back is because y'all looking at it like, nigga, that had to just be a physical thing. That had to be an opportunity thing. Nigga, you was slumming with that shit. So I don't mind. You know what? Fuck it. Because if that bitch come bragging about fucking my man, so what, bitch? I still got him. He paying my bills. All he gave you was some dick. Shut up, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. But when y'all cheat on us, it's like, I can't compete with this nigga. Every time I fuck you, you probably gonna be thinking about this nigga. Like, nah, I can't fucking accept that. That nigga's up here, I'm down here. Like, every time we have sex, I'm thinking, that nigga probably tore your ass up. This pussy don't even fit right no more. Ain't this a bitch? This nigga done tore the pussy all up. Pussy ain't even the same no more. Fuck all that. Like, we can't accept that shit. Like Coffee with Kendra said, banging body with a fucked up face. Yes, we will damn sure go fuck with a bitch that got a showboat body and a shipwrecked face. That's our favorite shit to cheat with. We love an ugly bitch with a banging body. That's number one cheating target. And it is what it is. Like, a lot of men, we don't mind doing that shit. Like, a lot of men, with us, it's an ego thing. Like, a lot of the women we fuck with, we like to fuck with a woman that makes us feel comfortable. Like, we like to fuck with a woman that when she next to us, it's like, yeah, I look good next to her. Like, that's why a lot of niggas with money like a real beautiful woman, because they know, like, I could afford a woman that look like this. A lot of niggas that ain't doing all that hot, them niggas know the deal. Like, they know when they fucking with a woman they don't really deserve. So it's kind of like one of them situations where it's like, if I'm fucking with her, when I take her out, the niggas that got more money than me gonna be looking at her. The niggas who look better than me gonna be looking at her. The niggas who doing way better than me in every category gonna be looking at her. So I don't think I wanna fuck with her, because the competition for her is gonna be way more than I know I could fucking be. And the reason that I call niggas like that bitch ass niggas is because on some real shit, my nigga, and I've experienced this shit. I done been on both sides of situations like this, my nigga. I've been the nigga that had the girl, and I've been the nigga trying to get the girl. When a woman really fuck with you, my nigga, like she really fuck with you, and you really doing your job, it's gonna be niggas that is better than you in every category, and she won't even be looking at them niggas if she really fuck with you. Now there are exceptions to the rule. There are women out there who just, choosy Susie. And a lot of times y'all niggas know who choosy Susie is. You know when you fucking with a choosy Susie. But at the same time, my nigga, I've been trying to get at a bitch. And I seen the nigga she was fucking with, and I'm like, really, bitch, you being faithful to this nigga? I look better than this nigga. I make more money than this nigga. My personality better than this nigga. I'm taller than this. I'm better than this nigga in every fucking category on 2K. Nigga, I'm a 97. That nigga's a 48. And you not finna come fucking with me? And the thing is, my nigga, as a real nigga, you respect a woman who could hold it down, and be faithful to her man, even though her man ain't shit. And a lot of us niggas, like, we ain't all that, my nigga. Like, trust me, if your woman is bad, if your woman is beautiful, if your woman look good, trust me, my nigga, it's some niggas that look better than you trying to holler at her. It's some niggas that make more money than you trying to holler at her. It's some niggas doing better than you trying to holler at her. But you gotta be secure in yourself and the job that you doing as a nigga to your woman. That's like, nah, nigga, she happy. So I know she ain't even looking at these niggas. Like, even though she doing, she doing well, she look good, and the niggas that's hollering at her is on they shit. These niggas pulling up in Benzes trying to holler at my girl. I know that I'm safe because of the environment that I create at home. I know she happy when she come home. I know she happy to see me when I come home. So I'm not even worried about all the niggas that's DMing her, all the niggas that's trying to holler at her at the mall, all the niggas that's trying to holler at her at brunch when she go out, all the niggas trying to holler at her on girls trips. Nigga, I done been turned down by some women who had some weak ass niggas. But they was turning me down because they really fucked with the nigga that they had. My nigga, you know how many niggas Nigga, I done hollered at bitches. Her nigga in jail. That nigga doing 15 motherfucking years. And this bitch is like, I can't fuck with you because my nigga getting out in 2032 and he ain't gonna like that. Bitch, you being faithful to a nigga in jail? But that's the thing, my nigga. When you really doing your thing, as far as a nigga and how you treating your woman, my nigga, like you ain't got to worry about that shit. But bitch ass niggas is worried about that shit, and that's the reason a lot of bitch ass niggas don't want to fuck with women that's flawed, women that's making money, women that's beautiful, because they feeling like, oh, these niggas gonna take my girl. You know, and sometimes I look at that shit as like projecting. You know, because like I'm not like a giant Sigmund Freud fan, but a lot of what y'all gonna hear me talk about psychologically is shit that I heard from Sigmund Freud. Like, you know, the theory of projection. You know, like a lot of times the niggas who feel like a nigga could take they bitch is the same type of bitch ass niggas that's trying to holler at somebody else's bitch. You know, and sorry to all the beautiful ladies and queens and all of that shit who listen to me and hear me say bitch. Y'all already know the deal if y'all listen to the show. I just be saying bitch because it come out easy. Like I'm not referring to all women as bitches. But anyway, like a lot of niggas who holler at another nigga woman be the niggas who be scared to get at a woman who's at a certain level because they already know how niggas get down and they afraid of that shit. You know, and me personally, like I don't fuck with the type of woman that I feel like will cheat on me. So me personally, like nigga, I'm not intimidated by no woman. Like that ain't never been my get down. You know, and you don't own people. Like, you know, your time with a person is just your time with a person. And a lot of times your time is based on your ability to make that person happy or fulfill that person or compliment that person. You know, so me, I always feel like I compliment my woman well. You know, and I don't mean complimenting like saying you beautiful and you sexy, but like where she's weak, I'm strong. You know, where I'm strong, you know, vice versa. All that good old shit. Like we fit well together. You know, and I always make sure to do my best to make sure my woman is happy. I love to create an environment where my woman is smiling. I love to be like when I come home, I love that my wife face light up when I come into the fucking door. You know, if you not doing that, that's when you need to be scared about your motherfucking woman. That's when you need to be insecure about your motherfucking woman. You know, cause like I be telling motherfuckers like nigga, I don't go through phones and shit. Because I'm comfortable with the job that I do. You know, like I forgot what episode that I did about this shit. And it had nothing to do with relationships. But you know, it was basically like a situation where I was talking about if you're comfortable in the job that you did in anything, you're never insecure. And I literally didn't even mention relationships in that episode or in none of the analogies that I use. But it's just like when you go to work. Nigga, when you knew you folded every box that you had to fold, when you completed every order you had to complete, nigga, you never feel like your job is in danger. Nigga, you flipped all the burgers. Nigga, you cooked all the fries to golden brown perfection and all of that shit. Nigga, whenever you feel like you did a good job in anything, you never insecure. So as a nigga with your girl, nigga, if you are honestly doing everything that you supposed to do in a relationship with your girl, you telling her she beautiful, you hugging her, you kissing her, you fucking her right, you taking care of the bills, nigga, you taking out the trash, you making sure she got gas in her car, you doing everything that you supposed to do as a nigga, you shouldn't be insecure, my nigga. You should have no reason to go through her phone. You know, and even with situations like where you do feel like you got to go through her phone, my nigga, if you in a situation where you doing everything, and this goes men and women, if you in a situation where you feel like you doing everything that you supposed to be doing in a relationship, and you still feel like they doing some slick shit, nigga, just dip. Fuck they phone. Like, nigga, you can do better. If you the type of motherfucker that can honestly say, like, nigga, I do everything that I'm supposed to be doing in this motherfucking relationship, and you still doing some slick slide shit, nigga, they just not for you. Don't go through the whole toxic going through the phone and seeing what the fuck they doing. Like, nigga, you should just be comfortable in the fact that you doing your motherfucking job and you straight. You know, and it is what the fuck it is, my nigga. Like, I don't know, my nigga. Like, it just ain't my thing. Like, I don't go through phones because I feel like I'm comfortable in what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not insecure because I'm comfortable in the job that I'm doing. And this is the advice that I give everybody, my nigga. Like, as a nigga, when you are approaching a woman, you should be approaching a woman who you feel like you can afford and not financially. Like somebody who you feel like you can love correctly. Like, I feel like if I fuck with this woman, she's the type of woman that I don't mind complimenting every day. She the type of woman that I don't mind fucking when she need to be fucked. She's the type of woman who I don't mind paying a car note. I don't mind fucking, taking out the trash, washing the dishes, helping her cook, or whatever the fuck needs to be done in a fucking relationship with a motherfucking woman, my nigga. Like, that's the type of women you need to be shooting at as a man. Like, fuck just looking at looks, ass, titties, and all that stupid shit. Because, nowadays with the way these motherfucking doctors is getting, nigga, you can go buy a fat ass. You can buy a small waist. You can buy some big titties. Nigga, women is out there going to Dr. Miami getting that mommy makeover and the BBLs and all that old shit. Coming out that motherfucker with everybody they want. They look like Kim Kardashian, Esther Baxter, just name a bitch that got a fantastic body, nigga. You can go buy that shit for like 15, 20,000, my nigga. You can finance that shit. And your woman to have whatever body you want her to have. So shit like that is like irrelevant these days, my nigga. Like, you gotta go for the motherfucker who you honestly feel like you don't mind talking to for 30 or 45 minutes when the TV not on. Like somebody who you could talk to on a long drive with the radio off. Somebody who you don't mind being around without having to fucking pull your phone out and text and be on fucking social media all goddamn day. Like, these are the things that's like really important when it comes to the type of motherfucker you looking for. Fuck six figures. Fuck 6 feet tall and all this old dumb, what would you call it? Like all this superficial shit. Like, that's a lot of what the fuck fucks up the whole dating game in its entirety. Too many people have too much superficial shit on their list of demands when they're looking for the person that they want to date. Like I tell motherfuckers all the time, like, when it comes to the dating game, if you basing your standards on superficial shit, it's literally like buying a car because of the color. Like, instead of fucking with a person because of how they compliment you, or fucking with a person based on how they love you or how you love them, or how y'all interact, or how y'all, can compromise on situations and come together to make smarter decisions and do better things. You looking at a motherfucker based on how fucking cute they are, like a car accident won't change all that shit. You looking at a motherfucker based on how tall they are. Like breaking their legs won't change that shit. Like, superficial shit is stupid. Like, you looking at a motherfucker based on income, like a bad decision won't change that shit. Or a fucked up market. Or a change in an industry. Like, nigga, your nigga could be like a fucking tech billionaire, my nigga. And then, some new invention come out and that shit makes whatever he's selling obsolete. Because shit like this happens, my nigga. Like, I remember, what was this, like 2009 when the housing market crashed? It was a lot of niggas who was millionaires off real estate, my nigga, who was getting jobs at security places. Nigga went literally from a millionaire to a McDonald's employee, my nigga. Like, you basing shit off something superficial, you are setting yourself up for fucking failure, my nigga. And that was the thing when homeboy was talking to homegirl, because she talking about, I need a 6-figure nigga, because when I meet niggas, they always want to say, oh, I want to be part of your business, or I want to invest in your business, and it's always money shit when I try to date down. And it's like, nigga, the thing is, like, nigga, you when you dating anybody based on finances, you setting yourself up for fucking failure, my nigga. You know, and I tell women that shit a lot. Like, you know, it's cool to want a nigga that's on your financial level when you got a lot of finances, when you a woman that got a lot of money, but at the same time, like, man, just go for the nigga that make you happy, dog. You know, because that's the thing that's rare. That's the shit that's hard to find. That's the shit that's important. Like, as a nigga, you know, us niggas with money, nigga, we looking for a motherfucker that's gonna make us happy. I'd rather a woman that's gonna make me laugh and bust a nut than a woman who's gonna make my house bigger or my car nicer, because I do that already. My car already nice. My house already nice. I already dress nice. I already got fly shoes and hats and sunglasses and watches and shit. Like, I don't need that. I need somebody that's gonna do what I can't do for myself. Even though I can jack off and make myself bust a nut. I can go to a restaurant and get my own food. But at the same time, like, I need somebody who I'm comfortable with when I'm watching Netflix to fall asleep on their shoulder. Or somebody who I don't mind falling asleep on my shoulder. Putting my goddamn arm to sleep, laying down on the goddamn pillow. Like, somebody who farts I don't mind smelling. Somebody who could take a shit while I take a shower. You know, like, that's the shit that's important. Like, that's the shit that you gotta look at when you thinking about your fucking standards. Like, it ain't about, like, height and looks and beards and, you know, how a nigga smell and all that goofy shit. Because a lot of shit like that, like, you can fix on a nigga. You could quickly be like, nigga, look, I'm gonna buy you this motherfucking green Versace motherfucking cologne. I can't even pronounce that shit. Like, I don't even know what this shit is like called. But this shit smell good as fuck, my nigga. Like Eros or some shit. Like, you want a nigga to smell good, get that nigga some of this shit. Like, nigga, a lot of superficial shit is easy to fix. But a personality not easy to fix. Like me, that's always been my thing. Like, I've always looked for personality. Like, nigga, I like smart women. I like women who are good in conversation. Like me personally, nigga, you know, a lot of niggas hate a bitch who talk too much. Me, I like a woman who could talk. Like, I like a motherfucker who, cause nigga, I got a podcast, nigga, I talk a lot. So I enjoy a woman who can talk while I'm talking. Like, when we having a conversation, it's a fucking exchange. And it ain't just me talking and you going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I like a motherfucker who can speak abstract shit and not just concrete shit. Like, I don't give a fuck about talking about what a motherfucker seen on TV or what the fuck happened with some niggas up the street. Like, I like to talk about philosophy a lot of times. Like, I like would you rather type of questions and what would you do for $1,000,000. Like, I like goofy shit, my nigga. Like, I like fucking watching cartoons and you know, like, little shit like that. Like, you know, you gotta find a motherfucker that complement your personality type. You know, like, I'm just glad I'm not out here in these dating streets on some real shit, because y'all motherfuckers got it hard, especially because, you know, like, with the way social media set up and these memes and the way a lot of motherfuckers base they fucking preferences on these memes. Like, that shit is bullshit. Like, y'all niggas that be fucking posting all these memes, like, you know, you want a girl to do this with, and I want a girl to make money with. I want a girl to build an empire and all this shit. Yeah, nigga, it's cool to have a woman who got hustle, and, you know, the type of woman that like to make money like you, and they be posting them pictures where they both got a fucking Rolex on, you know, holding a Mercedes Benz fucking steering wheel, and it's like, you know, you want this and I want that, and it's like, nigga, if that's the type of shit you looking for, I feel sorry for you, because you ain't never gonna find it. Like, homeboy was telling homegirl, like, if you feel like a six-figure nigga is what you need, you gonna die single. You know, like Coffee with Kendra said, nigga, the meme Bible. Like, motherfuckers, like, literally, like, they look at memes like it's the fucking Bible. Like, they love that shit to death. Like, that shit is bull shit, my nigga. Like, nigga, I'm not into that shit. Like, you know, it's cool to have a woman with money, but, nigga, that's not what my aim is. Especially as a nigga that himself has money. You know, and as women, this is gonna be something that a lot of y'all really should look at and look into and really, think deeply about. I'm not telling y'all to look for a broke nigga, but at the same time, like, you gotta look at a nigga who compliments you. If you a busy ass woman, you need to find a nigga who don't mind fucking with a busy ass woman. A lot of niggas mind. I don't think I know a nigga who's cool with no woman who gonna be busy all the goddamn time. And as women, this is something that, like I told one of my homegirls this back in the day. Because, she was like one of these heavily goal driven women who was like, oh, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 45 and I want to retire by 50 and I want to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I hope my mom ain't burning my house down. Because I got a fucking fire alarm going off and I know y'all can hear that shit. But any motherfucking way. Like, I knew a woman who was highly goal oriented. And she was a very busy woman. And she was like, I'll find a man when I reach this age. And I was like, yeah, maybe 50 after you retire. Because when you in your whole little shit where you like, I'm here, you 30 different places. Niggas in general, like, women, this is a hard motherfucking pill to swallow. But all that money you chasing ain't gonna equate to you finding a quality man. It sucks, but that's life. You trying to build an empire, you trying to be, boss lady and all that good old shit, and that's fly as fuck. Like, I salute all y'all, my nigga, because, it's hard being a boss. But at the same time, a lot of motherfuckers ain't looking for a boss. A lot of motherfuckers is just looking for a wife. Do you want to be a boss or do you want to be a wife? A lot of times those two things can't occupy the same space. And that's a hard fucking pill to swallow. That was really the gist of what that fucking video was about. Gotta take a sip, so I'm gonna play a sound. Like, that's the thing. As people in general, like, we really gonna have to look at, some shit that's not really easy to digest. Because I got a lot of homegirls who are doing very well. They beautiful women. They doing, man, like, they fucking killing it out here. But it's like, do you really think you gonna catch a nigga like that? And a lot of them I tell, like, maybe you don't need a nigga. Maybe you really don't want a nigga. Like, maybe you should just find like a cool fuck buddy or some shit. Because a lot of niggas don't want to deal with the life of a boss ass woman. Like, I don't think society has moved that far forward yet where there's a nigga willing to play the housewife while his woman plays the boss. Because at the end of the day, not to sound misogynistic, not to sound like some super old school, extra traditional ass nigga, but, at the end of the day, a lot of that shit is looked at as a masculine role in a relationship. The breadwinner. So when you going this hard to be the breadwinner, a lot of times you eliminating men who want to be the breadwinner off of your list of people who are eligible to date. And that's just something that you're going to have to really think about. And I think that's what that whole fucking video was about. Or that's what I took from that shit. Like Coffee with Kendra said, real men are not looking for a woman with 6 figures. And that's just the fucking facts. Like, there are men who wouldn't mind dating a woman who got that type of money. Don't get me wrong. It ain't like a nigga gonna be like, how much you make? Oh, 230,000. Oh yeah, you not for me. Like, that's not how it works. Like, a man don't mind dealing with a woman who makes that money. But a lot of times the lifestyle attached to earning that amount of money, a lot of niggas ain't willing to deal with. And it just is what it is. Like, y'all really gonna have to start thinking about that shit. Even if he do, the woman ain't gonna respect him as her man. Possibly. I feel like if a woman is earning 6 figures, a lot of times it do depend on the money that a man is making. And that's another disconnect when it comes to women that got a lot of money. Like, when you dealing with a nigga that makes less money than you, a lot of women don't have as much respect for a nigga that makes less money. And that's a fucked up thing. It's a hard fucking pill to swallow. It's it's a fucking glitch in the matrix at the end of the day. But it's something that you're gonna have to look at. You know. And I think I want to holler at Karen L about this shit because we talked about doing the live. So, sometime this week, be on the lookout for that shit. I'm gonna holler at her about that shit. We're gonna do it live. But the last two little bullshit things I want to talk about, because I really feel like we covered that whole little shit. Didn't even mean to talk about that shit. I don't know if y'all saw Barack Obama on the fucking Breakfast Club dancing around fucking Charlemagne, but that shit, like, I'm always so impressed by Barack Obama's ability to communicate when he's not saying much. Like, he says a lot of words and it sounds so good, but that nigga don't be saying shit. Like, that's a fucking talent. Okay, what will my nigga Adventures with Pictures say? What if both make six figures, but the woman makes more? Lack of respect still there? And that's the thing. Like, as far as like my feelings on men, if you a man of respect, nigga, I could be working at McDonald's and my girl could be a fucking millionaire and she gonna respect me because that's just the way I fucking carry myself. But all fucking sides equal a lot of times. Nah, dog. A lot of women that make more than they nigga, a lot of women base their respect on a man's ability to provide, and that's just the long and short of it. It sucks, but that's what it is. And a lot of women will admit that shit. Like, nigga, I can't respect a nigga that make less than me. A lot of women will say that shit out their mouth. A lot of women will act like that ain't the case, but some of them feel that way too, and that's what it is. But back to the fucking Barack shit, my nigga. Like, that nigga, he was tap dancing. That nigga Charlemagne was asking that nigga some very direct questions, and that nigga was giving some very fluffy fucking answers. I didn't really feel that shit, but at the end of the day, he ain't the president no more, so that nigga ain't gotta give us no great ass answers. But nigga, I was impressed by his ability to tap dance around them motherfucking questions. Cause that nigga was like, what do you say for the people who said you ain't do shit for the black community? Boy, that nigga turned into fucking Barry Sanders. That nigga was goddamn Ben Vereen. That nigga turned into fucking Chris Brown out that motherfucker. The way that nigga was dancing, he was juking the shit out them questions. But hold on, let me see. Let me check these motherfucking comments. I don't think so, cause if he's a man in every other aspect, he should be good. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I said. My nigga Cutting Pooh said Barack Obama's full of shit. Low key. Like, I've always felt like that. Like, Barack Obama, as much as I appreciated the fact that he was the first black president and he gave us something to look up to, like something to aspire to as black people, what he did as president, I was thoroughly unimpressed. Because a lot of what he was saying in that fucking interview was, oh, they didn't let me do this and they ain't let me do that. And, he kind of asked him, like, okay, so on the contrary, why the fuck is Trump doing so much for his base? And he's like, oh, well, Trump is breaking laws and doing all that shit. And it's like, nigga, all the white presidents have done a lot for their base. You seem to be the only president that didn't do a lot for the base that he had that looked like him. But that nigga did it. He did his dancing shit. And speaking of fucking dancing, somebody who I wish would have danced a lot more, my nigga Nate Robinson. What the fuck was that nigga doing? Like, I think the fight happened right after my last episode, so like I'm like real late on this shit. Like, a lot of the memes have already been shot all over the motherfucking internet. But god damn, Nate, what the fuck? You know, like, nigga. Like, that shit fucked me up, dog. Like, that, the whole thing was like, this is something that I always told niggas in the street. Like, through me growing up in the fucking street, something that my stepdad always told me when I was younger, confidence and your ability to fight ain't always the same thing. Nigga, just cause you come in the motherfucking fight confident, don't mean you gonna win. That nigga had all the confidence and none of the hands. And that shit was, oh my fucking gracious. Like, just the thought of that shit, my nigga, like, you got your ass whooped by a fucking YouTuber, my nigga. Like, you got your ass whooped by, I don't even know what the fuck Jake Paul do, my nigga. Like, what the fuck kind of videos do he even make, my nigga? Like, all I could think is this nigga was like, comment, and subscribe. Then he just knocked your stupid ass out. Like, god damn, nigga. Yeah, she's saying from the fight. Nate Robinson was a basketball player. Coffee with Kendra. That nigga was a great basketball player. The nigga's only about 5'9", but the nigga was in the NBA for a smooth 10 years. That nigga's a multiple slam dunk champion. Nate Robinson's a great basketball player. Nate Robinson is a phenomenal athlete. Like, don't get me wrong. Athletically, that nigga is amazing. And I think that's what fucked him up. Like, you know, I did an episode about this shit, like, resting on your fucking laurels. Like, a lot of people in a lot of situations in life, they feel like they got shit going on because they got all the tangibles. Like, nigga, I'm athletic, I'm fast, I could bench 300, I'll whoop this nigga ass. And it's like, dog, that's not all it takes to whoop a nigga's ass, my nigga. Like, Jake Paul has been in like 3 boxing matches, I think. Like, so he got ring experience. Like, he's been training. He's been practicing with a boxing coach and shit, my nigga. Like, you can't just go in there and say, I'm an athlete so I could whoop his ass. Like, nigga, you're a basketball player, not a boxer, my nigga. Like, that's where, what's that fucking white Irish motherfucking name? Conor McGregor. That's where he fucked up with Mayweather. Like, nigga, just because it looked like you could whoop a nigga ass don't mean you could whoop a nigga ass. Like, you know, that's the fucking thing, my nigga. Just because you think you could beat a nigga up don't mean you can beat a nigga up. A lot of the fights I've won in my life is because I don't look like much. I don't look like the type of nigga that could really fight. I don't look like the nigga that could kind of handle myself. But when niggas try me, I always deliver. Run up, get your ass done up, my nigga. Don't let the light skin fool you, nigga. Don't let the smooth face fool you. I'll beat your ass. But I don't got that look, my nigga. Like, niggas be thinking I'm like this pretty boy, nigga. Like, I'm just, you know, a nigga who dress nice and shit like that. Like, nigga, I'll really fuck you up, my nigga. Like, I got reach, my nigga. Like, I'm more dangerous than I look. And that's the thing with Jake Paul, my nigga. Like, that nigga Nate thought Jake Paul was candy corn, my nigga. That nigga Jake Paul put them paws on his ass. Like, that nigga turned into Jake Paul, P-A-W. That nigga put them mittens on Nate motherfucking ass. Like, damn. Damn, Nate. Nigga talking about I'm doing this for the NBA family. Nigga, you let down the NBA family. You let down all the families. You let down All in the family. You let down Sly in the family, Stone. You let down the Inglewood family. Nigga, you let down all the families. Like, he let down every nigga who ever picked up a basketball. He let down Seattle. He let down Supersonics. Fucking goddamn it, Nate. Fuck. Like, that shit was embarrassing the way he got his ass whooped. Like, nigga, it was like watching my brother get beat up. Like, damn, nigga. And by Jake Paul, fuck. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. Like, you know, and not to go there, but I hate to see niggas get their ass whooped by white people. Like, that shit just got a special place in my heart that really fucks me up to watch a nigga get his ass whooped by a white dude. Because, you know, in boxing, most boxing matches are, they all have racial undertones. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, my nigga. Like, whenever you watch a boxing match, you're going for the person that looks like you, my nigga. Like, I've been at a motherfucker. I remember, nigga, like, cause I got motherfuckers I fuck with in the Latino community. Everybody who know me personally know I fuck with the Latinos heavy. Nigga, I was at some Latinos house and we was watching the Mayweather versus De La Hoya fight. Nigga, when I tell you them niggas all look like they wanted to beat my ass because of what the fuck happened, nigga, them niggas was hot. Like, no, fucking Mayweather, fucking all he did was run, he didn't fucking win the fight, motherfucker. Like, nigga, they was mad as fuck. I'm like, my nigga, like, damn, y'all niggas tripping like that nigga beat your fucking brother up. Like, nigga, you're going for the people who look like you in them motherfucking fights. Like, nigga, and me, I wasn't even going for Mayweather. I don't even like Mayweather, my nigga. Y'all niggas done heard me on this show. If y'all been listening to this show for a while, y'all niggas know I don't fuck with Mayweather. I use him a lot as analogies a lot of times, sometimes in a positive context, sometimes in a negative context. I don't fuck with Mayweather. But my nigga, I wasn't even rooting for Mayweather, my nigga. I thought they was gonna jump me in that motherfucking house, my nigga. I was like, hey man, y'all motherfuckers have a good one, my nigga. Hasta mañana, my nigga. I holler at y'all niggas when y'all feeling better. Cause boy, was them motherfuckers hot to see Mayweather win that fight. Mayweather ain't never beat the shit out of a nigga, so I'm not gonna say he beat the shit out of homeboy, but he beat him in the boxing match. Like I was trying to explain to them motherfuckers, just like with the fucking versus battle between Gucci and Jeezy, my nigga. Mayweather won the boxing match. De La Hoya won the fight. If it was a fight, yes, De La Hoya looked busier. He was throwing more punches. But Mayweather landed more punches, so he won the boxing match. But them motherfuckers didn't give a fuck. No, he was fucking backing up. All he was doing was running. Like, they was mad as fuck, my nigga. They was hot. And I'm like, let me get the fuck out of here before I really got to squabble one of these motherfuckers. Because, nigga, them niggas took it personal, my nigga. Like, them motherfuckers was really looking like they was gonna get into the street and just go swing on a nigga just to prove that Mexicans could fight, my nigga. Like, they didn't like that shit. But that's how I felt watching Nate get his ass whooped. Like, nigga, that shit was like watching Roots, my nigga. Like, watching him get his ass whooped, I had the same feeling like when I watched Rosewood. Nigga, that shit was like watching Mississippi Burning, my nigga. Like, I'm like, how you gonna get your ass whooped by this white dude, my nigga? Like, especially a corny ass white dude. Like, nigga, that's like watching Eminem beat up 50 Cent, my nigga. Like, that just shouldn't happen. You let the black race down, my nigga. Like, you need to donate $100,000 to the NAACP. Like, nigga, you need to go and march for Black Lives Matter by yourself in Washington D.C. and do a speech for the black community. You need to do something to redeem the black community because you disgraced us, Nate Robinson. That was fucking embarrassing. God damn, that hurt. I don't even like ending the show on a negative fucking. Damn, Nate, what the fuck, my nigga? Damn. And then, like, I don't even want to speak on the Tyson fight because that shit was whack. That shit was a prom. That shit was a senior citizen prom, my nigga. Like, all Roy did was hug Mike Tyson, so that was whack. But I'm gonna drop the mic on that shit, man. If you would like to support us financially, it is patreon.com/Townhouse Media, Town E House Media. Support all the Townhouse Media podcasts, seriously none other podcasts, Friday nights, 9 p.m. Or whenever the fuck Ben Ready feel like it, because that nigga just doing when he feel like it. So support them niggas whenever he feel like it. Another show that pops on whenever the fuck they feel like it is the Talk Flirty podcast. Talk Flirty Tuesdays. Shout out to Just Nikki. The Talk Flirty podcast on Tuesdays. Look out for the motherfuckers when they pop up. They'll pop up when they pop up. Just subscribe so when they pop up, you'll get a notification. Check them out. Also on Tuesdays, the Sports for You podcast. Sports number 4 letter U. With Mark, John Watson, and Nick motherfucking Friggs. My favorite sports podcast. Them niggas be there every Tuesday on Tuesday. Live on fucking Facebook and YouTube. 6 p.m. Pacific time. The Sports for You podcast. Check them niggas out. On Wednesdays, Hump Days Will Never Be the Same, the No Rules podcast with Mark and Ill Will, aka the Juice Crew, aka the Bloods. Them niggas is live 5 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays. Hump Days Will Never Be the Same. Y'all niggas check them motherfuckers out. Them niggas is hilarious. On Sundays, the Cat vs. Dog podcast with myself, Yung Dolemite, your motherfucking uncle, and my co-host, CJ, Chelsea Perry, the celebrity of Townhouse Media. Check us out on Sundays. We do our shit Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific. We be late, though. So, nigga, 3, we probably won't be there, nigga. But after that, bitch, we'll be there, my nigga. We be late. Of course, if you hear, you already know the Too Much Game podcast on Fridays. I'll be saying 6 p.m. Pacific, but nigga, I'll be late too. Nigga, I was late as fuck today, my nigga. I got the homie in here, so I have to show him how to do this setup, because my nigga gonna do him a podcast soon, my nigga. Ab House of Souls, my nigga. Y'all check him out, my nigga. But anyway, follow me on social media at Uncle Dolemite on Instagram. Nigga, you know how to spell Uncle, nigga. Dolemite. Follow at Too Much Game Podcast on Instagram. Too Much Game Pod 1 on fucking Twitter. I don't be on that bitch, but follow that shit anyway, nigga. Get my numbers up. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Share that shit on everything. Tell your mama, tell your brother, tell your bitch ass homeboy, tell any bitch ass nigga, tell any beautiful woman, tell anybody who listen to podcasts, tell a truck driver, tell anybody who got time, my nigga. Share this shit. Damn, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it, nigga. I ain't here to help you get bitches. I'm here to help you get better. Too much game.